So here we are talking about the law of cosines. And this equation has four variables in it. So we have the side length C, the other two side lengths, which are A and B, and then the angle C as well. So we're really going to need 3 out of the 4 variables to be able to solve anything. So I either need all 3 sides or 2 sides and an angle that's in between. Or actually, that's not necessarily true. So I can use this in any of those situations as long as I have 3 of the 4 things. The only issue is, or the only specific thing that we need to know about this formula is that the side length of C has to represent the side that's opposite of the angle C, which is within the cosine. So in this situation here, we're going to be solving for a side length BA. So I have these 2 sides and the angle in between. So I know that 41 is going to represent the angle within the cosine, and 29 and 13 are going to represent the A and the B, whereas this value here, BA, is really going to represent the side that I'm looking for, or the side opposite of our angle. So I'm going to say C squared equals 29 squared plus 13 squared minus 2 times 13 times 29 times cosine of 41. And so I'm going to go ahead and kind of plug this in. Well, actually, I'll go ahead and solve for C really quick. I'm going to take the square root of all of this. Be careful plugging this all in at one time, because sometimes you can make a mistake. So I'm going to fast forward here while I plug things in, and then I'll give you the answer. Okay, there I kind of plugged this in first. Then I subtracted this from it within the calculator, and then I took the square root of it. So I knew that I wasn't making any calculator mistakes. Once I took the square root, I got my answer of about 20.998785. Okay, about 21. Let's call it, that's not 21. About 21. For the second one here, in this case here, I'm asking to solve for angle A, but really I could solve for any angle that I wanted to. If I'm solving for this angle right here, then that means this is the side that has to be on the outside of that equation. So this is kind of, my 30 and 21 are my A and B, so 30 squared plus 21 squared minus 2 times 30 times 21 times sine of the angle that I'm looking for. So again, in this one here, I'm going to do this kind of piece by piece. I'll keep walking you through it in this one. 45 squared is equal to 2025. 30 squared plus 21 squared is 1341. 2 times 30 times 21 is 1260. Times sine of our angle. So first I'm going to subtract 1341 from both sides. So I got 2025 minus 1341, which is 684, equals negative 1260 sine of A. I divide both sides by negative 1260, so divided by that, and I get about negative 0.5-ish. I'm not going to round this in my calculator. I'm just going to leave it as is and use my graphing calculator to use the exact value, because I want to take the inverse sine of that left side. So when I take the inverse sine of that, oh man, I'm a ding dong. This is not called law of sines. This is called law of cosines. Well, I'm hoping, like, as you're going through, you're like, Mr. Riddle, I wish I could talk through this mic and talk back to you, because it's cosine, law of cosines. Because I'm an idiot. So I apologize for that. Should be the inverse cosine of both sides. When I plug that into a calculator, I end up getting my angle is equal to 122 point, I'll call it 9-ish as my angle. So again, be careful, because I was being a dingus and writing sine instead of cosine. But if we look back on this, it's called the law of cosines. So make sure you don't make that mistake like I did.